Hey guys, brought to you by Cat Butt.
Yeah, right?
Mark, this is Mark and Michelle.
That's Michelle. That's Lori's butt. And I'm Mark.
For our podcasters, we have two ginger cats.
Yep.
And this one is making his debut. Well,
Yeah.
actually, he's probably been on here before.
He's making his debut.
Okay, so tonight we're going to talk about detox because we've been helping quite a few people with that lately. Detox is different than being sick, but it feels pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
So, for instance, we had one woman, I did not know that she had Hashimoto's. And she did only one stalk of celery for a few days and started having black diarrhea. Okay, guys, this can happen. This is how sick you are.
Yeah, what did you say you were going to start this out with?
I don't know.
People don't know how sick they
You
really
guys don't
are.
know how sick you are.
Yes.
I didn't know I was so sick. I mean, I got used to where I was in my body. It couldn't do much. I couldn't do very many things, but I got used to being in it, and I didn't know how sick I was because no doctor ever said, you have this virus and this virus and this virus, and no one ever treated me for this virus or this virus. Now, I did get treated for herpes during pregnancy,
Mm-hmm.
and that was it.
That was an antiviral, wasn't it?
It was, and it didn't do anything for me.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't do anything really for me.
Not that I remember. That has been some years ago now, but
And herpes is often mistaken, and it's actually shingles. Ladies, I want you to know that often herpes is shingles.
Mm-hmm.
And medical medium is the only person who's ever told me that, and it makes so much sense because I have a lot of the other shingles symptoms, I guess would be the word.
Yeah.
Like TMJ.
Frozen shoulder.
I've had all of that
I
stuff.
should say you used to have it because you don't have it now. Yeah.
He says there are several varieties of non-rashing shingles that the Western world has not, probably the whole world has not looked into. And then, so detoxing these elements that have been in you, I was probably born with them. My mother had rheumatic fever twice as a child and almost died.
Mm-hmm.
And medical medium says rheumatic fever is Epstein-Barr virus. So she was so full of the virus, she almost died at age 9. So by the time she had me, how much virus did she have in her?
Right. And that you got into your bloodstream. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And she's had so many surgeries. She's so sick.
Yep. Unfortunately.
She's still alive. I don't know how she did that. But I had a lot of detoxing to do. And it is very unpleasant. And we were dumb. And we just read the book and said, okay, we're going to do exactly what this book says. Oh, my goodness.
Well, we weren't dumb. We weren't fully informed. But
he gives only the ideal. He doesn't does not say if you are this sick, only do this much. He
is medical medium.
He gives the ideal amount. So you work your way up to 16 ounces of celery juice every day. We started with 16 ounces of celery juice.
Yeah. See, he doesn't, that I know of, he doesn't say that anywhere. And the heavy metal detox smoothie is really potent in the recipes the two recipes that I've seen on his page. And so, and you have to tailor you have to tailor everything to you. You just do, because you're different than someone else. You're different than another member of your own family. I mean, you might say, well, why should we be? We're members of the same family. You have nearly exactly the same genes. You're not identical twins, but because you do, even though your genes are a little bit different between each member, as you grow up, different things affect you differently than the way they would, say, your sister. I mean, like me and my sister. Yeah.
A lot, because you have different metals.
Yeah.
In different places.
Yes.
Also, you have different viruses or different bacteria in different places, and your immune system might have taken care of it better than your sister's immune system did,
right,
or something like that, or yours turned into cancer, and hers were just cysts. I don't know. I'm making this up.
right. I mean, she should say she can't know because everybody's different. Now, did you want to talk about what detox
we can talk about whatever.
Okay, well, let's talk about what detox is. You know,
Yes.
the different symptoms and things of it. Because we'll, in fact, let's start with this. When you're detoxing, you're bringing stuff up to get rid of it. I mean, that's the whole point of detox. You're bringing metals, bacteria, viruses, pesticides, whatever, up in your system so that the healing foods that you're eating can then collect it up and get rid of it. It's like a garbage collection, right? Because technically that's what it's doing. It's collecting the garbage in your system and getting rid of it. That's what detox is, as a simple explanation. So you've heard us talk recently about us having strep numerous times in the first 5 months, right? And since then, since we've gotten rid of huge amounts of strep, we don't get strep anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, not to that extent. We might have it a little bit and get a very mild sore throat that goes away in a couple hours or whatever else because we can treat it with the stuff he recommends for it. But strep came up so often and in those first 5 months because we were really doing the detox hardcore.
Right. So we were killing them all.
Mm-hmm.
And they were mad that we were killing them all, so they would fight back harder.
Mm-hmm. They would. And, I mean, not to personify a bacteria,
Well, it
but
helps.
that is how, well, yeah, it helps as a...
It helps us see what's happening.
Yeah, it does. You know, what I should say is it gets the message across better.
Mm-hmm.
And so, that being the case, other things that can come up during detox, intrusive thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any experiences you want to share with intrusive thoughts?
I don't know. Do I? Did
I
you
don't
have
know.
something in mind?
I didn't think of anything. I thought you were thinking something. Okay, intrusive thoughts. Now, I had lots of trouble with intrusive thoughts, and I always had. But when we did the detox, they got more intense. That's a good way to put it. And by becoming more intense, they made me realize, okay, I'm having a problem here, and I didn't know what was going on. So I remember posting on one of the support groups, hey, during detox, have any of you ever had intrusive thoughts? And I got quite a few replies, I mean, a few dozen. And people saying, oh, yes, definitely. And another thing that came up for me, and I'm sure this probably came up for Michelle, was intrusive emotions, unwanted emotions that you don't normally feel. And that was unusual for me because coming out of autism, I didn't normally feel stuff. So doing the detox, the medical medium detox, having these unwanted emotions was just bizarre and disturbing. You know, and I remember talking to folks on the, you know, and I told Michelle, she said, oh, I'm sure. So we got on the support group, asked folks, yeah, you know, definitely, you know, suicidal thoughts and this kind of stuff. I was like, man, this detox is serious.
Yeah,
you know?
it goes deep.
Yeah, because it's supposed to.
Yeah.
You've got decades behind you. I mean, as medical medium says, 1 month for every year you've been sick. I'm 50 and I'll be 51 here in a couple months. So that means I've got about 4.5 years of healing to do. I've already done about 1.5 years. Almost would be, yeah, about 1.5 years. So I've got about 3 more years to go before I really get completely healed, according to his thing.
Which we have no idea what that will feel like, because already 1 year and 9 months in, I feel better than I did when I was 17.
Right?
And so what is it going to be like to be completely well? That'll be wild.
Now, you have to maintain that. But
yeah.
what are we going to be, superhuman? I mean, you know, are there going to be powers that come with that? Superpower. See, being healthy is my superpower. Being healthy is her superpower. make that your superpower, because that actually is a superpower.
And the detox was worth going through, even though the detox was very uncomfortable. Having to use the bathroom so often, either way, it was pretty intense.
Mm-hmm.
But I could tell that I felt better underneath all of that, so I kept doing it.
Yeah.
Until I got so tired of being sick with strep.
Yeah, and that's when we realized we had to slow down on the detox. Remember, that's how you manage detox. You slow down on it.
But don't do what we did. Don't start full on.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So that you don't have to feel that bad.
In fact, a good suggestion that we give people is this. Start your detox as minimally as you need to. Keep increasing it until you get uncomfortable with it. Now, when you get uncomfortable with it, then ease back a tiny bit until you're comfortable again, and just keep going from that level on.
Well, and I'm thinking if you have like Hashimoto's or cancer, or something really intense, you probably need to not start the detox elements until you've just done fruit smoothies for a while.
Yeah, because the fruit smoothies by themselves, even without doing any of the specific detox things he recommends, like the celery juice, the lemon water, and the heavy metal detox smoothie, just the fruit smoothies themselves are detoxing. They're mild. I'd say they're kind of mildly to moderately detoxing.
I think they say it's harder to get rid of strep, but I find that the viral stuff I feel like the strep has really gotten under control for me,
mm-hmm.
but the viral stuff is still there.
Yeah. The strep is a little bit of a problem for me, so I don't really eat strep foods. So it's still a little bit of a problem for me, but the viral stuff is less of a problem because, as medical medium says, pandas, if it's associated with autism, is viral, not bacterial, not strep related, even though Western medicine says that pandas is definitely strep related. So I seem to have less problem with the viral than the bacterial.
Well, I still have to wear a mouth guard at night because I bite my teeth together so hard.
Yeah.
And
that's viral.
That's shingles.
Shingles. Viral, yeah.
Yeah, it's viral.
Mm-hmm. And so...
And the other day I was feeling like right here a little waterfall. And I saw someone describe that as nerves healing. Mm. And I was like, whoa, maybe this, because it's always been this side that was so bad. Maybe this is healing.
Maybe. That'd be awesome.
That would be so cool.
It would be. And
to sleep without a mouth guard.
I know, right?
But I don't have pain during the day at all anymore, though.
Yeah.
So that's good. I just can't sleep without a guard.
Well, and that would be awesome.
That's huge because I've had pain since like 96 or 7.
Since we've been married.
Yeah.
So let's see. Other things on detox that you can expect. You can expect changes in your perception.
Yes.
Because a friend of mine, her boyfriend, they're doing the heavy metal detox smoothie, and she came to me and she said, man, it's like opened up my awareness. I said, yeah, it's going to keep doing that. She's like, oh. And she got a little nervous. And I said, it's nothing to worry about. I can help you through it. But I said, yeah, expect it. You're going to see more in your world than you ever have before. And she's in her 20s. And so that's going to be mind-blowing for her because she has never been that aware. And this has just been in the past 2 or 3 weeks or so.
Be aware that your friendships might change.
Yeah, let's talk about
You're
that.
You're going to change so much. Just changing your diet changes your sociality.
Your social relationships, because it changes your social circles, and for 2 reasons, to be honest. You're healing, and your friends may not be.
Yeah.
And then the second reason is you think you can, and your other friends may not think you can at all, and they don't think they can. You're going to encounter that. We've encountered that throughout all my recovery and hers. because most people are supportive, but most people in your circles, in your social circles, in your family and friends, they are supportive. But you are going to probably even in your closest circles, you are going to run into friends, family, and you already have, I'm sure, who are going to say, "You're on another diet?"
Yeah. Yeah.
You think diet fixes that?
Yeah.
You think you can heal from that? You're going to hear those questions like that. You're going to hear those questions and questions like that over and over from those family members who don't believe that diet can change you.
Well, let's just talk about the doctor you talked to today. Mark's dad is having surgery tomorrow, so Mark spent the day with him at the hospital.
Mm-hmm. So we're sitting there, and my dad, I'll give you a quick rundown. He was exposed to Agent Orange in Vietnam. Agent Orange, for those of you who don't know, was an herbicide that contained a variant of DDT. So he remembers when he came in contact with it. He was driving back to a military base somewhere in Vietnam. A plane flew over, and a minute or so later, he was covered with this really sticky stuff, and it burned. He got it all over his skin, his face, and everything else. So he's had cancers, a couple of different cancers, diabetes. Diabetes can be induced by Agent Orange. He has also had one of the cancers caused a pituitary gland to be the pituitary gland to be overactive and produce crazy amounts of human growth hormone. Well, so he was diagnosed with acromegaly, which means your internal organs grow too large for your body cavity, and over time, if it's not treated, they basically implode and disintegrate because they have nowhere else to go. And so his has been under control for about a decade, but he is in surgery now for discs degenerating in his neck. So with all of these attendant problems, he is the you might say the lab mouse who gets experimented on and checked on all the time. So I was there today, and 2 different classes of neurology students came in with neurologists, doctors, and to see how he was progressing, to see he had numbness in his fingers and his feet and everything else. So one of the young doctors is a Korean woman. She was an intern. I guess that's what you'd call them. And so she came back later to find out about our family history. And my mom goes, "Oh, well, you're talking to the perfect person," as she pointed to me. He has a really great memory. Okay. So anyway.
She doesn't know anymore.
Well, right. And so, but I had a good enough memory. See, that's the thing. I remember the stuff as an Aspie better than I do as an NT now. So anyway, we talked about all that stuff. And there were 2 doctors, but this young Korean woman came back and she asked me about my health. She said, "You look really healthy." I said, "Oh, I am now." She goes, "Now?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I had heart issues. I had high cholesterol." I said, "That's all under control now." And I said, "I took Lipitor, not sure what all else." And I said, then later on, I found out I had autism. And she goes, "Okay." And I said, "But I found a diet that would take care of that. And I'm on another diet now to finish up detoxing from the heavy metals." And she goes, and she asked me what the diets were. And I told her. She wrote them down. She says, "I have a nephew who is autistic. I am interested in this." And so she left. Then earlier in the day, in one of those groups, was a young Indian guy who was one of the neurology interns. And he asked me what I was drinking. I was drinking a smoothie. I said, "I'm drinking a smoothie, and it's just raw fruit." He said, "You on a special diet?" And I told him, "Yeah, medical medium, it's all basically fruit smoothies and raw fruit and veggies." And he goes, "You get good nutrition on that?" And I'm not surprised, because doctors have to specialize. And so I'm sure there are doctors who do nutrition only and don't specialize in other things because they can't. I mean, the medical field is huge. So I'll make this shorter here. I said, "Yeah." I said, I get all the polyphenolic compounds, I get the vitamins, I get the minerals, I get the antioxidants, because none of this stuff is cooked. Because when you cook anything, you destroy the vitamins and the minerals and the other things that are in it to be able to eat it easier.
So he was teaching a doctor.
Yeah. And as he was walking out the door, he goes, he kind of was nodding. He goes, that's cool. And I said, did you take, or my dad asked him, did you take nutrition in medical school? He's like, oh, no, they don't teach us nutrition in medical school. He said, you can elect it, but that's it.
So there you have it.
And so you realize that it's not that they're being ignorant.
No.
It's not that they're being jerks. And as a doctor on Michelle's side of the family once said, we really have to cater to our patients. What they want is what we have to do. We don't give advice that we aren't asked for, because the Hippocratic Oath indirectly keeps us from doing that. That was, yeah. And so I don't want to mention her name on here, but she made a good point. They can't give you what you don't want.
You have to take control of your health. And
you do.
If you're here, then you have.
That's right. And so stop and think about that. You're ahead of everybody.
It takes a special person to be where you are.
And you are figuring out how sick you are, and that's okay, because you're starting on the journey to be less sick than you've ever been.
You're going to get less sick, and then less sick, and less sick, and less sick, and then you're going to start saying, oh, maybe I'm going to get more well and more well and more well.
But yeah, you can expect to feel sick during detox, but just remember, you're going to get less and less sick as time goes on. We definitely have.
Oh my, yes. I'm happy being here.
People keep telling me, don't get sick, don't get near me. I have a cold, and I'm standing there thinking, I can't get your cold. I have a good immune system now, But I'm not gonna brag on that or sound like a jerk.
Well, even Anthony gets sick sometimes.
Does he? Yeah. So I mean, because sometimes you just get run down and something sneaks in. Anyway.
Yeah, he was talking about how he was on a book tour or something and was just sleeping like 4 hours a night and stuff. And that's when he got run out. Make sure you're sleeping.
Definitely.
You've got to sleep for your health. And if you aren't drinking lemon water all day long, even if you're not thirsty, you are not flushing yourself out.
Yep. So
you might be drinking tons of smoothies, but you've got to have that lemon water to flush it out.
All right. Well,
also,
celery juice
at your level.
And
the heavy metal detox smoothie.
And the lemon water doesn't detox you as much as the others do, but keep doing it anyway.
It flushes it out.
It does. All right, guys. See you tomorrow night.
See you.
10:45.
Bye.
Bye.